Hello everyone! This is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Thanks for tuning in. I decided to switch it up. I mean, why not? I saw this suit still in the closet, and it's been years since I wore it. I think the last time I ever even wore this suit was in 2016. I thought, what the heck, let's just try it. Let's see if it still works, and it does. So I said, why not, you know? I don't need another reason to wear it. Just say, yeah, why not? It's there, and I wanted to break it out. So there you have it. The white, they call it a seersucker suit officially, but you could just call it the white suit. It makes an appearance for the first time in a long time, actually. And I think, speaking of appearances, I think this is the second appearance, if I'm not mistaken. This might be like the second or third review I've ever done for Shake Shack. I know I've had them a couple times. I've had them like maybe, I think like 3 times. And all of those times I enjoyed them. First time I ever had Shake Shack was about a year ago, and I did a review of it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good, all things considered. So I saw that they have a new release out, and I'm pretty excited about it, because again, based on the limited experiences that I've had at Shake Shack, I found the food enjoyable, so I'm excited. I'm hoping this will be good, but you know the way it goes. Anyway, let's get into business. This is the Bourbon Bacon Cheddar Burger from Shake Shack. So starting in May, they're going to be introducing 2 items to the menu. Both of them are obviously going to be Bourbon Bacon Cheddar, I believe. One is a burger, the other is a chicken sandwich, and it seems that most of the interest is surrounding the burger, so that's what I'm going to be going with today. And here's what it is. Obviously, it has on it the sauce. The sauce is what it's all going to be about. More specifically, they call it a sweet and savory Bourbon Bacon Jam. So you're going to have the Bourbon Bacon Jam on the burger. Then it's going to have white cheddar cheese on it. Onion, I believe crispy onion. And they also said shack sauce. And again, you can get the burger as a single or a double. I just went with a single. And price for this is anywhere from $8.50 to $10, and I paid a lovely $10 for this burger. But you know what? It's not just any burger. It's the Bourbon Bacon Cheddar Burger. Like that somehow justifies the price. But there you have it. I guess you can say that it was served in this little cardboard receptacle, so maybe that does. But either way, there you have it. That's a hieroglyph. If you ever heard about those, that's what they look like. And now, let's open it up. It says it's about to get real. So there you have it. They said it. Let's see what we have. All right, here we go. Let's get a look at it. Oh, there's the jam on it. The cheese looks like it's melted to the patty. You've got the jam. You've got the bun. I guess the onion is mixed in there. Let's take a better look at this. Okay, here we go. Here's a complete look at it. So you could see right there, we have the onion. That's the shack sauce. No affiliation with Shaquille O'Neal. And there's the jam. And there's the cheese and the burger. Thus completes the Bourbon Bacon Cheddar Burger. So that said, you know what's on it. I know what's on it. We all know what's on it. But does it taste any good? Let's find out. The Bourbon Bacon Cheddar Burger from Shake Shack. It's going in. We'll take a couple more bites. I'm going to take a bite here to get the shack sauce. You know, when I try out various items, obviously, they're made up of various components, and I'll just turn the focus off. We'll let the camera do whatever it does. And sometimes everything comes together quite nicely. Sometimes everything almost comes together. And there's just one or two things that just don't work, and sometimes that could be ignored. Other times, that can change the entire course of things. Sometimes the issues that I have come down to individual preparation, and other times it's more of a chain-wide type of thing. And I think that this is an individual preparation type of thing, because right now it's one of those times where what's just coming to mind is so close, you know? So close, and yet so far. Because it's this one issue with it that takes what would otherwise be a pretty darn good burger, and, you know, no pun intended, you can't shake it. You know, you can't ignore it. You can't just say everything else outweighs this. All right. My issue with the burger, the toppings, even the quality of the beef is all right. The onion's fine. Cheddar is good. The Bourbon Bacon Jam is great. It tastes good. But the problem in my case, I think that the burger, at least some of the outer edges or maybe the top, I don't know if they were just trying to get a nice crisp to it or what, but it's charred. And I could taste that. And you know how it is. If you're eating something, especially a lot of fried or grilled foods, and something is just a little overdone, you know, it's just cooked a little too much, and you could taste that char in it, you know that taste, it permeates, and it takes what could be a really good thing, but this potent, just charred taste, this burnt taste, it doesn't go away. It lingers, it's strong, and even if it doesn't overpower everything else, it makes its presence known. You know, you could just definitely tell that it's there. And that's the problem with this burger. Let me tell you, if you get yours and it looks like it's cooked properly and it doesn't look like it's just even a little overdone, I'll tell you this right now, you're going to get a really good burger. And if it weren't for that issue, we would be talking this burger would be at least in the upper 8s out of 10. Now, my policy when I try out items, I say, look, when I review an item, I'm just the customer. I'm going there, let's say, on my lunch break, and I heard about this new item. I'm going to review what I get. I don't want to go in and do a big show and make them prepare the best one just for me, so then that guarantees a good result and a good review. No, none of that nonsense, you know? I have my ways of getting it that I'm just going to get a burger just like what anyone else would get. And what I get is what I'm going to review. And I run into these issues sometimes, but I think it's a realistic portrayal of the fast food experience. This stuff happens. Now, in my opinion, it happens far too often, given the state of things. You know, I know it happens to plenty other people too, but nothing irks me more than things like this, where you have what would be a great burger, and everything tastes really good, But then you have, and I taste the aftertaste of this still in the back of my mouth. Burnt. And that char, it's still there. I could still taste it. And what a shame that is. What a shame. And what a disappointment, because otherwise, this would be a real good burger. And like I said, look, if this idea sounds appealing to you, go out and get it. Try it. See if yours is like this or not. If it's not, you're going to be in for a real good burger. But if it is, I'm just warning you right now, that's all that you're going to be able to focus on, and that's it. So that gets me, and that's all that I could say. It's disappointing, because you see so much potential in this, but then that one thing sets it back. And what else can I tell you? It's just disappointing, that's all. Especially, sometimes you get these items that are just utter trash, and it's just some piece of garbage that had, it's going to be, no matter what you do to it, it's just going to be a flaming pile of you know what. But when you have stuff like this, it could be real good, but it is what it is. What else? What can I tell you? In short, forgetting about the burnt, charred taste that my burger has, what are the good things about it? Pretty much everything else is great. The Bourbon Bacon Jam is delicious. I mean, I really like it. It's got this lovely sweetness to it, but they described it really nice, sweet and savory. And again, it blends in with everything else just so perfectly. The cheese is great. It's good quality. And I do like that it's kind of there on the patty to the point where you can get it in every bite. The onion, too, potent, but good. And it adds a nice crisp, texturally, to the burger. The only thing that I don't think it really needs is the shack sauce. I mean, it's all right. It kind of gets lost in the rest of the sauce, but I'll take a tiny taste right now. On its own, it's all right. It's creamy, it's savory, has a little bit of a tang to it, but it gets lost in there because the Bourbon Bacon the Bourbon Bacon Jam strongly overpowers it. So I don't really see any need for the shack sauce on this burger. I think it just needs that Bourbon Bacon Jam. It's great. You can taste some of the bacon in it too. And it's just a great sauce. So many of these bourbon types of sauce for various burgers are just great, and they work so nicely with it. And like I said, what a disappointment it is when you have these ingredients that just blend together so nicely. And even the beef itself, the parts, the interior of the patty is still fine. But it's just when you have that char on the outside and it just permeates every single bite and builds upon itself, how disappointing. And look, I'll admit, this might just be an issue with the burger that I got. That's why I say, look, try it out if you want and see what you think. Maybe you're not going to have this problem. But for me, this is kind of extra disappointing, not only because it's a $10 burger, but because it looked good, and so much of it tasted good. It's like, I want to take another bite, but then I sit here and think, what's the point? It's just going to be more of the same. You're going to bite in, but then you're going to taste the char, and then it's going to linger, and you're not going to be able to get that taste out of your mouth because it's still there right now. So that's all that I could really tell you. If your burger isn't overdone or isn't charred or whatever the issue is, I wasn't in the kitchen. I didn't see what happened, but if your burger doesn't have that problem, and everything just goes together as it should, this is an 8.5 out of 10 burger. Definitely. Tastes good. If yours has this problem that mine does, I just can't get past it, but this is like a 3 out of 10 burger. And that's the thing. So it just depends. Something to be wary of. I think this might just be an individual thing, but if it happens to me, it could happen to you too. It's just disappointing is all. This is an item with a lot of potential. Just bear that into mind. But I still advise, look, give it a shot, see what you think. but goes to show, as we see a lot of the time in the world of fast food, this isn't just a Shake Shack thing. This happens so often with Taco Bell and Burger King and the pizza places too, all these places. This stuff happens. Sometimes it comes to individual preparation, but one thing gets screwed up and that could be it. That could ruin the whole meal. And I know we've all been there before. It's one of those instances for me, but in the end, you could just say, yeah, it's just the way that it goes. On to the next, and hopefully the next time we'll get some better luck. That's all that I could really say there. So that's all that I have for you today. Disappointing, but I kind of just have to begrudgingly accept it, and it just is what it is. That's all that I have for you. I'm your host, the Report of the Week.